All right, and we are live. Welcome everyone to State of the Republic Town Hall Live, Sac Republic versus Birmingham Legion edition. We're really excited to be here with another Town Hall Live show and to introduce all of our special guests that we'll have tonight. We have a full house tonight. I think more people than we have in some of the most recent shows. And so, before we introduce each one of our guests tonight, let's go ahead and play our intro video, and we'll be back here in about a minute. All right, and we're back. Thank you to everyone who is tuning in. As always, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to leave a comment on the comment box, and we'll be highlighting it during the show. Whether you're a Sac Republic fan or you're a fellow Birmingham Legion fan, we'll show your comments on there, and just feel free to comment on anything that we talk about, or if you have questions to ask us, just feel free to add them on the chat, and we'll be adding them as we're able to here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce some of our special guests here. First, I'm going to actually go all the way over to the Birmingham area because he is our special guest tonight. And it's the first time that we have an away fan on a Town Hall live show, but it's going to be really cool. And everyone will get more insights on what to expect from our opponent tomorrow. So his name is Kaylor, and he actually just interviewed us in his podcast. If you guys haven't checked that out, go to our socials. We shared that episode that we did. Welcome to the Town Hall Live Show. Kaylor, how's it going, man?
What's going on, man? I'm having a blast. I'm absolutely buzzing to be on. So much more fun than moving like furniture, which is what I was just doing. So this is a nice break from doing so.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I know it's could be a bit challenging, right? Especially if you're moving like a bed or just a large couch. So
yeah, two beds. So twice the fun, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, especially if you're moving it upstairs or all that.
No stairs.
No stairs. Oh, okay.
No stairs.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because that could be pretty tough. All right. Next, let's go over all the way to a place that is hotter than here in California. But luckily, he's going to be back over here getting a break, even though it's going to be about 10 degree of a break. But hey, it's still something. Jared, how's it going, man?
Yeah, like you said, I'm going to be leaving the land of 114 degrees and listen to people complain about 104 for the next couple. I'm doing good. You know, we got, as long as the AC's running, I got cool drinks. You know, we're good here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. Hey, keep hydrated, and yeah, I'll be one of those people that'll probably still complain, and I'll probably be complaining tomorrow, right, when we see each other at the game, and yeah, it's inevitable. I think it's a California thing to just complain about the weather, and even though it's hotter elsewhere. But
how hot is it?
Yeah.
How hot is it supposed to be tomorrow?
And here in Phoenix, it's supposed to be 114, and we have a heated advisory from tomorrow at 10 a.m. to Sunday at 8 p.m. In Sacramento, it's forecast to be 104, but significantly lower by kickoff time, though.
Oh, the boys in Birmingham are going to be absolutely buzzing. It's going to be like playing in the fall. No worries. It's only supposed to be a crisp 110 here tomorrow. So the boys are getting a break. Come on, boys.
Oh, wow.
And hardly any humidity too. So
no humidity. Come on. This is just a spring break.
pretty much.
Yeah, kickoff tomorrow. It's supposed to be, I think, around like 95 degrees Fahrenheit is the estimated.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it'll be good for them. Now Kaylor's telling us how it is, then not too bad. So it'll be an interesting one. But hey, if we win, I don't want anyone to be saying that the weather was the cause of it too. So it's all fair game. That's the good thing about that. Next, let's go ahead and go all the way over to his car as usual. Really awesome. He does lift, and he's getting prepped for, I'm sure, a really busy night tonight. But William, how's it going, man?
Hey there, guys! Welcome and welcome, Kaylor, to be welcome here live. So yeah, I know I'm taking a break via Lyft right now, but hey, Sacramento weather is so blustery hot. It is closely to 100 degrees outside, but for tomorrow in Sacramento, as what Jared mentioned earlier, it could be high as close to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. And yes, and of course for tomorrow, and happening tonight, it is the official opening of the return of the annual California State Fair, which I'm so happy about this.
Yeah, I think we all are, because the state fair hasn't happened since 2019, and don't we all really? Oh, motorcycle! Hey, you're hearing it live here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and aren't we all glad, right, that the team still offers the match ticket and state fair offers? So that is one of the perks that we do get from being at Cal Expo. So as much as there's other things we could complain about, at least we have that perk around this time. Chris is also going to be joining us, but she's actually currently cooking. So I'll let me know when she can. Oh, I think she could join now. All right, Chris, let me know on the private chat before I add you on the screen if it's good. Give me a thumbs up on there if you're all good. So.
And then also, we'd like to add that if you do want to join us, you don't necessarily have to have your camera on, so it's purely optional.
Yes, there's also that as well. All right, well, let me properly introduce her. She's also from the Sacramento area, so we wanted to make sure there's more representation from actual Sacramento. So, Chris, how's it going?
Hi, good to see you guys.
Welcome, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Awesome. Likewise, I think it's been a while since we've had 5 cameras on here, but it's really cool because it's actually not blocking the title up there, and our screens are a little bit smaller, but hey, it's all good.
Thank you.
That's Ryan, our little drummer boy with the battalion. Let's go, Sacramento! You can do it.
Let's go.
Hey, he led us to victory in Monterey.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Wow.
Yeah, for everyone who heard that podcast, he's the one that we referenced to as our supporter who brought a drum. And I still say I didn't hear any drums from Monterey, but maybe there was someone hiding somewhere, but I didn't really hear any drums on their side.
Mainly their
They
back
had some at the far end, but they just weren't that great.
Oh, yeah, yeah, me too. Close a bit.
Awesome. Well, hey, let's go ahead and get the show on the road. As always, again, people, if you want to leave your comments, just leave them on YouTube or Facebook. Looks like we got Harry joining us from San Antonio FC fan. Don't always catch it live, but I always enjoy the State of the Republic podcast. Hey, thank you. We really appreciate when fans of other teams, I know Kaylor was telling us on his podcast that they listen to our show. It's really awesome, and hey, we appreciate that y'all take the time to listen to us talk about Sacramento. He also wants to say boo.
Oh.
Good to see you too, Harry.
So mean.
10 minutes and the banter's already starting.
I know, right? I'm like, did San Antonio beat Birmingham, or have they played yet? Or
We've played once. It was last year. I think they beat us 2-1. They beat us pretty handily. And then they're playing us towards the end of this year in Birmingham. So it's me and San Antonio fans get along very well, despite what they may say. They really boost my engagement, which is awesome. Could not be more thankful for them.
Because San Antonio FC are definitely the current fiercest competitor in the house. Because I noticed that you are having two former Sacramento Republic FC players that are currently playing right now, which is including a captain, the former player in this team, Mitchell Tainter, and of course Shannon Gomez. Because I know both of them are play very well, but Mitchell Tainter, he's getting a complete fierce
MVP.
man. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah, we definitely miss Shannon Gomez. He was awesome.
Yeah, because I know Shannon Gomez, he is a pretty good player, but I'm sure he is a pretty plays very well often, but I'm sure he has a good future career for himself. So.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I thought what better way than let's see if Kaylor could talk to us a little bit more about how Birmingham's form has been like lately and what we can expect from them. So, Kaylor, if you want to go ahead and just let us know over the past couple of games, how have you guys been doing?
I mean, we've had a pretty good stretch of matches. The glaring defeats or the things that you probably should look out for would be, I mean, the Louisville City scoreline. That one's a little bit deceiving. You see 2-1 with a red card. It was the last goal, the game-winning goal, came in 85th thanks to a penalty. Some fans say it was, some fans say it wasn't. I think it was, but still debatable. And the other one's the Atlanta United 2 match. You see 3-3, but what you don't see is that Legion blew a lead twice, 2-0 and then a 3-2 lead. So those are matches that are absolutely concerning. But the big one to me that I think you should be looking at, well, there's two, I guess. Legion's win over Memphis 901. The 1-0 win against Area Code FC came 90th minute thanks to a header a half volley from Anderson Asiadu, who is, if there's any player already that you need to watch, it's Anderson Asiadu. He's 5'6" and full of rage and anger and just a brilliant footballer. Just can dribble around anybody. You're not going to dispossess him. The only thing with Anderson you can do is push him back. You can get him to lose ground, but not the ball itself. And then the other one is going to be New Mexico United. It was a 2-0 lead. We took that 2-0 lead into halftime and then just completely shut them out. I think they only had one shot on goal, and it was a dominating win by the Three Sparks out in Albuquerque.
Especially against New Mexico that's only lost 3 times, right? And at home. That must have been a really big win for you guys, I think, just overall, right, in this whole season, beating them?
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that has vastly underperformed. When you look at my predictions that I made preseason, through 18 matches, I said that Legion would be on 29 points, and now through 18 matches, we're on 29 points. The season has gone to the point prediction, but they have come from places that you didn't expect, and we've gotten wins that you wouldn't expect and a lot of losses you wouldn't expect. This is a team that has a brilliant defense. I would argue some of the best defensive midfield in the USL, some of the best wingers that you'll find in the USL with Enzo Martinez, Prosper Kasim, Marlon Santos, but an anemic forward line with between our 3 strikers that we've had play on the team. We only have 2 goals from open play with our strikers, and one of those is a guy who's no longer on the team. So out of the strikers currently on the squad, we only have 1 goal from open play from a striker. So it's a really good team that just cannot put the ball in the back of the net unless it comes from a midfielder or a winger. The big guy on campus, one that a lot of fans will know, Juan Agudelo, youngest goal scorer in U.S. men's national team history. He only has the 2 goals, a penalty and one header. Other than that, he's been bad. So that's something to look out for.
Yeah, who doesn't remember Juan Agudelo, right? He seemed like he was going to have a really promising career, right, with the national team as well. And unfortunately for him, I think things didn't go as great, right? So but either way, I still think he might be dangerous right now. I always like to say that about any player, even though they only have a few amount of goals. Like you can't always relax, right? And these guys could still score a goal, or could still suddenly start scoring for a couple of games, and relive those like good days, right? Because of course they have the talent.
You can see the talent whenever he plays. You can see the knowledge and the intelligence he has. His issue, and it's an issue that Legion have had for a while now, is that kind of similar to how Sacramento actually, if you look at Sacramento's problems this year, and this is something I think I talked about on our podcast that we did, is that despite Sacramento having a pretty good points and stand in the table pretty well, this is a team that despite winning has underperformed. And you can say the same where just like Legion, they tried to dribble the ball into the net where they just pass, and then they'll finally shoot, but it's directly into, a defender or right into a goalkeeper's arms. Harry actually asked a comment about Sadiq. He will not be available. It's a signing we just had today. He's a winger that we signed from Northern Cyprus. He was their Golden Boot winner from Northern Cyprus. How Jay Heaps finds these guys. We have a striker named Eddie from the second tier of Slovenian football. And now we have Sadiq, who is the top goal scorer in Cyprus. I think he goes into Football Manager and refuses to load in England and just sees what happens. And that's what's happened here. But he will not be available as far as I know, unless he flies from London now.
And with how hot it's gonna be, I feel like they're just gonna be like, what, I'll take a break and I'll wait. That's not the best first game to start off.
No,
especially
it's not that far removed from a Mediterranean climate. I mean,
right.
Maybe a little. I mean, at least Sacramento, because they also have mild winters.
Yeah. But
let's see, we got Harry saying, can we say thank you for Mitchell Tainer? That trade of Emil Cuello for Tainer has worked out well for SAFC. It has worked out really well for them.
Oh, it did work out well.
Harry, you are most welcome. Y'all can keep them, and we are fine with Emil Cuello. So glad everything is working out with him.
Yeah, not the best culture fit for Sacramento.
Yeah.
He was very abrasive against the other against his own players, personality wise.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, San Antonio is a grindy kind of place. I mean, I don't know. I really like watching San Antonio play, except for when they're playing your team, because they will leave you frustrated. But man, they are fun to watch when they're not playing your team.
Yeah. It was an interesting game, right, that we gave them at home, and I think it's probably our most challenging game we've had this season was against them in that 1-0 win that we managed to get. But they're a tough squad. I mean, that's why they're in the position they are in. Kaylor, will Sadiq Balarabe be available this week, and what impact could he have for your lack of goal scoring?
I mean, yeah, that was like I said, he won't be available, but when it comes to lack of goal scoring, he's going to be a winger, which it won't. It just kind of keeps adding to the problem that we have tons of wingers who can score, but not a forward who can find it. I still think that our solution is already on the roster, and his name's Eddie Horvat. Everybody who's in Legion land has heard me scream his praises, and I think everybody except for the coaching staff believe in that. But Eddie is a really talented player who has pace for days, who can really cause issues. He's a brilliant footballer who just hasn't got a lot of run, but I do think that he could be the guy who really turns it around. So if you're watching and you're not listening to podcast form, or I don't know if this goes into podcast form, but
no, just live show.
Just live stream, yeah. So Eddie is our second tier Slovenian guy, bagged like 23 goals in 18 games in the second tier of Slovenian football. Dude's a freak of nature. He had 10 assists on top of that. He's a nutcase. He's so good. Also, incredibly nice guy.
Okay, well, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for him, and he shouldn't be hard to find, right? I mean, he's over 6 feet tall, so
yeah, not even close to being the tallest guy on the pitch for us.
Oh, really?
That would go to Alex Cronale, who I think is 6'5".
Oh, wow! All right. Oh, Jared,
Pretty
I think you're
tall.
muted. I think you were trying to say
Pretty
something.
tall.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I think you'd mentioned us on the club being like 6'5" or 6'7" on Wednesday. So that's probably the same person.
Yeah, that's Alex. Alex Cronale, he had a lot of time with the Columbus Crew. He then went out to Orange County, then to Indy, and now he's made his way over to Birmingham Legion FC about 2-3 years ago. And he's a really good player. He's been a bit shaky this year, a lot more than in years past, but his height is just cannot be understated. He is a good player when he's on. When he's off, he's really interesting because he's a player who likes to possess the ball, because until I'm remembering what he told me correctly, he didn't hit his growth spurt until college. So he was under 5'10" until his freshman year of college. So he was a midfielder striker going into Maryland, and then he grew to be 6'5". So he is a guy who wants the ball at his feet, but because he's so daggum lanky, whenever he's a little bit off and those slight touches aren't working, he loses possession fairly easy, and it's really unfortunate to watch, and you can tell it frustrates him, but hopefully he's on against Sacramento.
All right, well, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Thanks for giving us all those insights on all those guys, and we're going to be definitely keeping a close eye on them and see what they do. But before we move on, let's also take a look at some of Sacramento's also recent games that they've had. As we all know, the last game that we had against Oakland at home, 3-3, and what was a really incredible match that went all the way to the last minute, and we get that amazing assist by Roro and Luis Felipe goal there. But before that, we know we went down in Colorado, but in the past couple of games before that, we had a pretty good run thus far, and so looks like things might be being pretty good for us tomorrow, because it hasn't been too bad, and we all know that we're still unbeaten at home, and it'll be a challenge, but I think it'll be an interesting one at the game tomorrow. But I want to know from Chris, you were at the game, right? I think on last Saturday.
Yeah.
How was the atmosphere like during that whole game? Because I know it kept going back and forth, and a couple of different comebacks, and finally we tied.
It, as far as I'm concerned, it felt like that 1 point felt like 3. I mean, we pushed hard at the end, and even though it ended up being a draw, it felt like a win, unfortunately, because we pushed hard and we all celebrated.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
You were there. You were at the game too, William, right? How was it from
Yeah.
on your side?
Well, yeah, because I know I've been gone a little bit torn up between Sacramento, including Oakland, because I've been gone. I've got two different team close stuff going on here, which I know Sharon and Eve and Jane, they've been gone. Come on, you don't want to wear Oakland stuff and you don't want to wear Reno stuff. It's gonna go crazy because I was kind of bit a little bit of kind of a doozy dozy moment actually because I know because right now the sector because what just happened on the first game tied for 1-1 and then the last time free another tie. Yeah, it's a very fierce competition game actually because I know because of the last minute goal because Roro was trying to kick it until Luis Felix they kicking in for the final last minute goal. It went wild, and I was like, that is a complete roller coaster ride, intensing game that I ever saw in years. It kind of reminds me. It's just like compare when Sacramento Republic FC was currently playing with that former USL team. I think it was called Reno 1868 FC. And yeah, I know Ryan. That is what you could say that earlier. They've gone nuts. I was like, come on. I do really love supporting on some teams, but it is such a very competition race. So, but it's a pretty interesting game though.
This is news to me. I didn't know you were wearing an Oakland root scarf on the other side.
Because the reason why I did because I wanted to try it out because I bought a 10-game flex plan since last year, and of course that plan here isn't that bad actually because I did see some Oakland Roots play earlier. They've been gone in the beginning of the season. It gone a little bit low, but now it seems to go up a bit. But now it seems to go low. Yeah, because I don't know why Oakland Roots have gone play so well since last season, but right now for this season, it got a little bit narrowly lower at this point.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Ryan. Okay, I had enough of talking this time. I'm trying to join in the Sacramento side. People have been talking like this. Like, come on, enough of that.
As long as you don't wear it to the Oakland game against Sacramento at Oakland, I think that might be okay. No,
Yeah, exactly
no one will say
right.
probably anything.
Yeah, compared to Reno 1868 games back then.
See, Reno's different. Yeah, Reno, you know that rivalry. We all know how intense that was. That was a lot. I mean, you probably wouldn't even have been allowed inside the stadium too if you're wearing a Reno shirt or.
Yeah, exactly right. Because I need to wear a casual clothes at this point. Yeah, it's just like comparing to if you are unless if you are heading down to a Dodger Stadium where so many where so many LA Dodgers fans are wearing those actual gear. If you are if you're coming down, welcome. But if you are coming with the outside opponent team, that is if you're wearing the San Francisco Giants gear, then yeah, everybody is watching you. It's completely scary.
It's better just to take some casual clothing and celebrate in silence, probably, or after you get to your hotel. Yeah, because you hear stories of people there. I mean, it's sad, but yeah, those things happen. Ryan said, "What do you all think about that offside goal? Are you sure he didn't punch it in?"
Well, I did see that part earlier, but I'm kind of a bit close to it because I know the offside go, it's a pretty fierce because I thought it might be like, whoa, way too, way too, way too, way too close to call right now because each of every defenses, what I saw throughout the whole game, completely surprising out there.
Yeah, and which one are you referring to exactly, Ryan? I'm trying to like think of all the goals. I'm like, which one are you talking about? I got Sharon. Is that Chris? Yes, that's Chris.
Yes.
Yes, it is, Chris. Yes, I do.
Also, then hi Jared.
Hey, Jaron.
I guess the three of us don't get a hi, but all good, all good. It's all good.
Well, she can only type so fast. Give her a moment.
Okay, Ryan.
They're gonna be
It's
still-
okay, it says the one to put ahead of my head before we tie it. So yeah, it is true.
The one before we tied it. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, the header. I mean, it could have been offside, Ryan, but we all know how USL referees are, right? And the linesmen, they tend to mess up a lot, and yeah.
Exactly right. 100% because I've seen ref activity has gone wild, especially receiving for that yellow card for that Oakland Roots head coach for the first time. I was like, whoa, that made me surprised. I mean, though.
So we're all getting Sharon's highs now.
See, like I said, just give her a moment.
Hey, Sharon.
Now we could say hi, right? No, before we couldn't say, we weren't allowed. Ren, ESPN Plus says it's offsides. I'm glad they're pointing those things out as they should, right? As any commentator should. Let the bias decide.
ESPN Plus is actually saying something positive about a Sacramento team. Elizabeth, that's a big one. Lord help me.
I know, right?
I never seen that. I never seen that though, because I did seen it live though.
Yeah, well, that's it. I'm glad they're doing that too. We might still not sign up though, right? Because we have Fox 40. So. But keep at ESPN Plus. If the ref would watch it on my phone, they would have seen it's offside. That's what we always say, right? If the refs would just like glance to the giant screen that is like right there conveniently next, like something they could see. If we could see it well from our perspective, then they could see it as well. You don't need to be AR. You have it already, all right? They're just going to stare at the screen.
We already have VAR in the USL. Very appalling refereeing.
So funny enough, Legion were the beneficiaries of the first ever use of VAR against Lou City earlier this year. Lou City got the red card after the referee looked up at the scoreboard, saw their player shove our player in the face, and said, "You can't do that," even though he didn't see it live. He saw the replay and he gave him a red, which was deserved, and then the player was like, "You can't retroactively do that." And the ref was just like, "Here's a red card for your troubles, pal." So
Wow.
my.
Why can't we get in that?
Who's that referee? Like, we got to look up what's this referee's name. We want him to.
It ain't Melvin Rivas. It ain't Melvin Rivas. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, you said yeah, it is. Yeah, we'll have to look up who that referee is. I don't know if I know we could look it up too. I don't know if you recall, Kaylor, but we need to know who this person is. That's awesome.
I'll have to find it later.
So it looks like we got Sharon join us and also Tina. Hey.
All right.
I don't
Hey,
know. I
everybody.
think they're muted too, but I don't know.
Oh, they are live at the California State Fair because I'm sure these ladies are having a great time because they want to see Shaka Khan.
I don't know if it's a state fair. I know Sharon doesn't like the state fair, but yeah, tell me if I'm wrong, Sharon. But I don't think it's a state fair.
I think it might be somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I think
it might be a wine cellar. A wine cellar.
Yeah, it's probably that winery that they keep talking about. I think.
Let's see.
Bingo! It is.
I think it is. Yeah. Oh, we can't hear you. Oh, are we gonna start doing the whole "we can't hear you" chant again?
Again, that is.
we can't hear you, Sharon. I don't know.
We'll have to message Tina again.
Oh yeah. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Could you unmute it, please? Because I know we are in
can't hear you.
Zoom right now.
If we go off mute,
No.
there's a lot of music in the background, so no.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Oh, she's protecting us from YouTube. Make sure that we don't get copyright infringement. All right. Good. As always,
Yeah,
podcast not
because
looking
I
out for
know.
us.
Or
Alright,
as we scream out on Twitch, TOS, TOS. Terms of service.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah, including Facebook too, because I know Facebook has some very strict on some music copyright stuff.
Yeah. So Harry says, I see it every time SAFC plays SAC. I'm assuming it's the referee issue, right? Because I
Definitely,
can see that.
definitely 100% right, Harry.
Especially what was it last season, right? When we had like 2 red cards, I think, right? And I think San Antonio got like a red card at the end, right? The infamous brawl match that happened.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I recall
Yeah.
that moment. Yes.
Ryan asks, here's a question for everyone here. How physical do y'all think tomorrow's game is going to be?
Same as the last game. Pretty intense because I do know as what I do know because both Sacramento Republic, including Birmingham, they are very close competitor actually. So hopefully it will be similar to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a match that it can get chippy pretty fast. Like you mentioned, William, this is 2 teams that are really close. They're within 1 goal of each other. They have allowed basically the same amount of goals. They have the same exact amount of shots on target this year, on the same amount of points in their respective conferences. On top of that, this is a team with Mikey Lopez, who, as Harry knows in the chat, is one to get a little bit of a streak of going in physical. He is the one that got a red card recently. He's known to go in for a crunching tackle. Anderson Asiadu will go in full speed. He will win the ball, but he does go in full speed, no question. And the guy I talked about earlier, Eddie Horvat, he's fast and he will press the ball, but he's also a bit like a golden retriever in the sense that he will go through another human to get to the ball. Does not matter. If he sees ball, he get ball. It doesn't matter how legal it is. This could very well get very physical, but I've also seen several Legion matches that stay pretty clean with some fair fouls. It depends on within the I think we're going to find out quickly in the first 10 minutes, depending on how closely the refs decide to call it. If they start nipping things in the bud immediately, I think we'll be dealing with a pretty clean match. If not, we might be in for a long match that is destined for a yellow card fest.
Oh.
Yeah. Including a rare occasion, red cards. That would be a big problem for some of them.
All right. Well, let's keep looking here at the comments here. We have some interesting ones here. Harry said USL should put in the USL version of VAR, have a ref in Florida, and have the ability to buzz the 4th official to let them know it was the wrong call. They should, yeah. I mean,
that is a pretty interesting reaction, though.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we'll take whatever they want to do just to make sure that they get as close of a good call as possible. Then go for it, get creative. You don't have to spend extra money, and they can make it work, right? I mean, it's doable, and it's not like FIFA's gonna come down and tell them like, hey, you can't be doing that, right? It's not. If MLS did that, that would be another thing, but I don't think
Yep.
come and call us out, unless there was pro rel, but we don't have that.
And they could use ESPN's resources as far as the cameras that are out there and the multiple feeds. I mean, why not? Be a good excuse for ESPN and USL to extend their contracts.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they could come up with their own form of VAR. Just I always say have the referee watch the game, have the game.
Hell, we're going to be paying $10.99 for it each month starting next month.
I mean,
Oh,
I know that's a hot button topic, but I mean, $10.99 for as much as I use it is still not that bad. So,
wow. So they're moving it from $6.99 to $10.99. That's
starting next month.
Hike.
Beginning of August. Oh wow. I'm sure it will not affect if you are using a
already in
a Disney Plus bundle actually.
Yeah, but not all of us though really are too big into the Disney Plus. I mean, I remember first seeing it like maybe a year or two ago, and you're like trying it out, and it just didn't have a whole lot in the library at that time. But I don't know, maybe it's changed. But then again, if I can still watch CFL without having to have ESPN or ESPN2 as part of our TV agreement, because technically we've cut the cord in our house, then I don't know. We'll figure something out.
So Ryan said, welcome, Coach. For a second, Ryan, I thought Coach Briggs was on here. I was like, wait, is Coach on here? Or who's the coach? I don't know what am I missing here?
I don't know. I never seen him around here because. And by the way, a well thoughtful respect for the head coach Mark Briggs, because he's finally received the head coach of the month, because he made 5 successful wins, including 1 win with the real LA Galaxy during the US Open Cup, which is a pretty impressive result for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, congratulations to him for getting that. Well deserved, because June was the most amazing month that we've ever had, probably in the history of the club, right? I mean, we had
in the
so
club
much
history.
wins. And Harry says, I think very physical depending on the ref who is in charge of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
100% right, Harry.
Yeah, so we'll see who it is, but as always, if it's not a good ref, everyone knows that in Sacramento we call you out. So whoever's the ref tomorrow, I'm just saying you're gonna be called out if you start calling the wrong calls. Unless it's blatantly obvious, then of course you can't really say much. But if it's not, yeah. Ryan, will Connor Donovan be back for this game? If not, are we going to run 3 in the back, or do you think we'll switch it up? I'm not sure if he'll be back. I haven't heard anything on that. Have any of you heard?
I haven't seen anything so far.
When I talked to some of the people there, they said it was still day to day, so we'll see. But my inclination, and from what I understand, it seems like the 3 at the back will still be on. So maybe there will be somebody else filling in that role.
Yeah. Exactly right. True.
I would assume as well, right? Especially if he's coming back from an injury, I don't think that he would be risked, and he shouldn't be. We want him good for the 27th, and if he doesn't play tomorrow nor at Phoenix, then I'm okay with that. I think, because he needs to be 100% for that game. So we need to save him. Hey, let's just save him out back there. Well, the referee for Sac Legion, this will be his 3rd USL game as center ref for this. Oh, his 3rd USL game, barely. I don't know. That's rough. That is a newbie right here. Oh.
I don't know. It's
Wow.
going to be
best of luck
a
to
complete toss-up.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Oh Lord! At this point, I'm definitely going by the cannabis awards at the state fair beforehand.
Oh no! Yeah. Wow. Well, now everyone knows, right? The referee is brand new, basically, to the USL. So don't be surprised if we start hearing some chants or some people start yelling like, "Hey, noob, like go back like to school." um. So Ryan said he was. Oh, Coach Briggs was on. I guess for a brief minute here. Wow. Well, hey, that's
I never
awesome.
knew.
If he's still
Wow.
on, then wow. Thank you for
Greetings,
tuning in.
Mr. Briggs. Thank you for joining us.
Wow.
If you're still here, Coach Briggs, we appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah. Yep. It's gonna be good. Ryan says, "Do you think Malik Foster gonna go on a goal scoring streak? The last goal he did was awesome." I think so. I mean, the guy has been on a roll, and he got the opportunity to start, which I'm really glad. I asked for him to start in the last town hall we did, and coach, benched Z-Man, and rightfully so. I think Malik has been better for him. So I would say, if you ask me, Kaylor, that's one guy that you guys should be on the lookout for, because the guy has speed, and clearly, if he has a one-on-one opportunity, he knows how to finish those opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that whenever I was taking my notes and watching film on the team, he was the guy that definitely stuck out to me. A guy that you just mentioned, actually, Zico Lewis, is another guy who really stood out to me. Very creative player that on his day is probably the best player on the team, but it just doesn't seem like he really found his footing, at least not quite yet. His creativity on and off the ball, he makes really intelligent runs. The thing is just he doesn't seem to have it yet for this system. But he's a guy I really believe in. But I mean, it's hard not to look at as a Legion fan. Lopez, dude's an absolute freak up there. His ability to dribble, his ability to get into space, and obviously his free kick taking is incredible. So I mean, there's a lot of guys to look out for if you're a Legion fan, really.
Hey, he's actually all over the pitch. So even you saying fall back, like he actually does that. So that is pretty accurate as well. So I always ask this question, and I gotta keep asking it because it's still none of us know what will happen tomorrow. But if you guys are coach, who do you got as a goalkeeper tomorrow? Danny V or Carlos? And let's go let's do in screen order right here just to make it easier. I'll go last, but let's go in screen order. You go first, Jared.
I'm going to say Danny V. Carlos, I think we're going to maybe start him in the Phoenix match. But as far as tomorrow, I can definitely see Danny V starting.
Yeah, same as Jared does. I think Danny V will be joining in for that game. I did see Carlos Reed post recently because I think he may be having some kind of like a therapy injury on his leg or something. So yeah, I think Danny V will be likely to fit because I'm sure Carlos will be doing just fine right now because I did see Roro's post recently. So hopefully he will be back somehow in the next few games or so outside for the upcoming July 27th match.
Wow. Well, that's news. That's news to me. I didn't know that. that makes it a bit difficult to pick him. But who do you say, Chris? Who do you think is the goalkeeper tomorrow?
Danny V. I also heard about Carlos having a leg injury.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. I did see Roro post earlier what you and I mentioned. So yeah, that might be a close possibility of it.
So Ryan said the way Foster cuts through his line against the defensive press, if he's gone better over last year, definitely, yeah. Considering last year he came in halfway.
I will say, Foster is a guy obviously for Legion fans to look out for, but I think a similar comp to him would be a Nico Brett, who's out at New Mexico United. To which, I mean, frankly, Fanuel Kavita, our star center back, captain of the club, Captain Fantastic, did keep him in his back pocket. So Fanwell is not a guy who's going to be making a lot of tackles or stuff like that. He's very intelligent and gets in front of the ball, which that's one thing I noticed with Foster is that he's really good at cutting through a back line. But in order to do so, he normally takes a pretty big touch to get around and then catches up to the ball, which is Fanwell's bread and butter to stopping. I think a lot of lesser center backs give up penalties and give up fouls where they just go to stop the player. But Fanwell's really intelligent about that. So I think that's an interesting battle that you'll be seeing all night between the two.
Yeah, as far as Foster goes, some of us are under the assumption that he might have been a fan of Spaceballs growing up as a kid because the man only knows one speed, ludicrous speed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he has. The comments also agree. Danny V. Sharon said it's Danny V. Probably. Ryan said Mr. Consistent. Oh, there's another nickname for Danny V. right there. Mr. Consistent.
Oh, that
there.
is nice.
We'll start. The game is too big for him to not start. But Sharon says, but if fans go all Carlos, then that might affect decision. I would probably be the only fan maybe right now here amongst all of us here that would actually just say Carlos. And but now that I'm hearing that, apparently he's going through some stuff there with that injury. It's impossible that I don't even know exactly who's our third goalkeeper because as y'all maybe heard, our academy goalkeeper is going to college. He's going to be playing college soccer, so it's tough. I guess it's another academy goalkeeper there, so that's a little worrisome. Hopefully it's nothing major and Carlos could be good because nothing would be worse than, Danny V getting injured on the 27th and then you got this academy goalkeeper that has never played. That would be really terrible. Well, it looks like, I think Sharon, you're commenting off the podcast or someone else is just wanting to give the podcast an opinion as well.
And did someone hack on your account?
I think Sharon's the hacker here, but yeah. Yeah, because you could see Jared's hands are up there, so he's not, of course, not typing unless he's got a new technology that just he could think things and comment. Ryan said, "Is that guy from the USL show? He sounds familiar." Yes, he is indeed from the USL show. He's Kaler.
Howdy. I'm sorry that you recognize my voice. It's unfortunate.
Oh my gosh!
We get that all the time with people in Sacramento too. Jared knows it. Sharon knows it. Like we've gotten told before, people that we don't know saying like, "Hey, we know your voice. Your voice sounds familiar." Sharon said, "Evil laugh." Okay, I think we know who let the guy. I don't think I've heard Sharon ever do an evil laugh. But Sharon, I think you need to do one in the next podcast. Now that you mentioned evil laugh, I'd be curious how that sounds. Ren said, "Love your show. Keep it up."
Appreciate it, man. I really appreciate the love, brother.
Yeah, and of course, if anyone hasn't seen the USO show, check it out. They've been at it for a long time, and I always like to say this, but they're an inspiration as to why I got all this started and why I became a podcaster ultimately, because I used to listen to it every single week. Once the episode would drop, I would be listening to it. So great stuff there. Well, moving on to starting 11, I want to know who y'all have in your starting 11. If you're a coach, what are some players that you definitely would be starting for Sacramento? And then we'll do Birmingham for you, Kaler.
I know I'm definitely going with Roro and Luis Felipe. I mean, that's a given right there, especially with how hot they both have been. Let's see. I would definitely say Dan Casey because he's basically the McFoley of the group. I mean, he will put his body through anything to advance the ball or to keep a shot away. Let's see, Damia. I would like to see start, but I don't think he's going to be starting out. Probably be on the substitute list or rotation list. Excuse me, rotation. Jack, I would definitely see him starting. Let's see, Matt LaGrassa, yeah. Foster, yes. Duke. Yeah, I would say Duke. And of course we have Lee. I think that's. I know it sounds like just copying the last roster, but that's a tough line right there. I mean, that fought Oakland, tooth and nail. So if it's not busted, why change it?
Yeah, exactly right. And by the way, I agree in your opinions, Jared. So I think you might have got one of them. I do believe I think Keko should be in it because I think Keko did made a comeback since on the second half because I remember the last time because the last time he played with the actual LA Galaxy, it is a very tough competition. So I'm only think how when I did think Keko came back on the second half, it did perfectly well balanced. So yeah, I think Keko should be in the main starting 11, in my opinion, though.
Okay. All right, Chris, who do you got for your starting 11?
I am a big fan of Malik Foster starting. I was so excited when he came out. He has a lot of speed, and I think that really shook up everyone who's following the team and how we've been playing because everyone expects him to be our 80-minute man. And he's the one that always gets brought in later on in the match. So I like the fact that he got brought in. So I really want him to start again. Of course, the rest of the lineup is pretty good. My husband and I, we're not big Keiko fans. He's fun to watch, but he doesn't really finish it. He's not clean with his passes. We've noticed. So I'm not a big fan on him.
Insurance says, heck, start 13. If we could start more.
That could be a possibility, Sharon.
And Emil, that makes 14.
Hell, throw the academy players in. Let them get some minutes too.
Too many predictions, Sharon.
You know what? I got my own number on my kid as well. I'll go ahead and start the second half.
Oh, you do.
I mean, hey, it worked for Foster throwing in somebody, we weren't expecting early on. I mean, heck, throw in some academy players, really mix it up.
Yeah, why not? They will handle it.
Yeah, they need to have you, Jared, as well, since you actually have your name and number on the back of your jersey too, and you need to be subbed in.
Well, technically, it's my dad's first initial on there, but nonetheless, I mean, that's why we need the City of Trees Kits in 3X so I can put my ancestral name on the back.
Yeah, they need to. So, hey, Connor, if you're watching us right now, can you make it happen?
3X's for us Redwoods. We ain't. Not everybody is the size of a palm tree. Some of us are kind of bigger around the middle.
Yeah, they need to stop with the fitted jerseys. Not everybody looks really good in fitted jerseys.
I am.
Either that or we need to switch to Adidas. Adidas actually does do 3X. I don't know if Nike does or not. I mean, I only wear Nike because of Sacramento, but I'm more of an Adidas guy. So, but I know they have 3X. So, step it up, Nike. Come on. Let's see, Ren said, I see Roro coming off the bench. We have to prepare him for July 27th. Okay, plus we have to play Phoenix in a huge matchup for us. Yeah, it's going to be intense. But yeah, Roro coming off the bench. I don't know if I see that too, though. I think, he's amazing, right? That's why we call him the legend. And, I think I don't know. If anything, I would start him off on the bench against Phoenix. I think and I know, Jared, you want to see all of our all-stars at Phoenix, but in my opinion, you put a lot of the bench against Phoenix. This isn't a strong Phoenix side, and you need to make sure you don't get an injury or, we know Phoenix is pretty aggressive, and we don't want them injured, especially because they're going to be still all sore about us being them in the cup. they're gonna want to injure some of our players, so we screw up in the cup. Could happen.
As much as I would love to see Roro come off the bench in Chandler, just to see the Rising FC fans having to invest in new undergarments, I think it would be best that we kind of rest Roro in Chandler, because we're going to need him a few days later.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a shame that we play against them before the cup game. It should have been like 2 weeks after, but not like the game before. It just, yeah, it sucks. Harry said, well, Colorado Springs versus LA is back on. Thanks for entertainment during the weather delay. Oh, hey, you're welcome.
Lucky.
I didn't even know I mean, I saw the game was going on. I didn't know there was a weather delay, but that explains why the minutes weren't going on Google. But
It must be monsoon, actually. Yeah.
wow, yeah. In Colorado, right? I think Colorado's hosting.
Sure.
I'm assuming, yeah, because LA is probably really hot right now. Ren said, put me in, coach. I'm good for 2 hard minutes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, funny.
I ain't saying a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure Ryan will be a good idea to put a backup coach.
Wouldn't we all want to be like a rotation player, right? And any of the Sacramento games, especially on the 27th, right? I mean, I keep tagging coach anytime I post myself at the gym, like, hey, I'm ready. If you want to use me as a sub, I'm all good. But I think everyone in that stadium on the 27th, which if y'all haven't heard, officially sold out stadium. It's just amazing, the fact that now it is sold out. We thought it was before, but I guess there was still some tickets there that they hadn't sold. But what I do have to say, and we're going to say it again, I think until the game begins, is that we don't like scalpers. So if you haven't bought your ticket, don't buy it from a scalper. Buy it from a fan that's actually going to sell it to you for a reasonable price, and not try to, get you to fork over like, I don't know, 500% more than what the actual ticket cost, because they're out there. They're out on all these other sites. Thankfully, Ticketmaster doesn't seem like they're going to allow resale market to be on the page, but they're doing that, and just don't feel that. It hurts the team. Team's not getting anything, and if anyone buys them, you're not going to buy merchandise or, food or anything like that.
If it feels like a Craigslist transaction, forget it. No. If they're charging $400 a pair and claim that the big upgrade is because they're selling scarves with it, no. For $400, you can get VIP tickets and probably buy folks food and beer. I mean, the VIP is supposedly cheaper than that. So be wary for your ticket transactions if they're not with the club or someone you trust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just don't trust them. They are, they're bad. And I think it's the first time that it ever happens to us, right? That we have anyone trying to resell tickets on all these other external websites, but it's just terrible. And they've gone to a point where they're commenting on the team's social media pages, right? I think especially the sold out. I don't know if the team got rid of them, but people are leaving comments on there trying to sell it, like just like bluntly putting it out there on the team's social pages. So hopefully, Connor, if you're listening, or if anyone else from the team is listening to us right now, you guys should probably do a campaign against that, and just just to tell all the fans that, hey, just don't buy it. I know they're working on perhaps getting more tickets, right? I know they have the corner kick club now where they're just like standing only tickets. So the team is working on that, and I'm sure after seeing all these things go on, they're going to try and find other ways to allow people to still be inside the stadium and watch, even if it's on the bar side where they have some screens there, or even in the State Fair itself. That would be pretty nice, and it'd still be good, and you wouldn't be feeling all these scalpers that are trying to make a quick buck from people.
Still waiting for my monorail seating.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
The monorail setting is a good idea. Yes.
Yeah.
We just need a monorail to go around honking the horn whenever we score.
Yeah. And what was it? The Raging Waters seating on the slide.
Oh, especially with the temperature out there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like a Miller Park, how it used to be, how you had the brewer just go down the slide whenever they hit a home run. It'd be like that.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, they need to do that too, or in the levee. I don't know, put some seats up there and.
Yeah, Kyler, I don't know if you knew about this, but a couple of years ago on April Fool's Day, the club released a statement saying that, they're going to release some new specialty seats that were available. And because we're at a place that has, the state fair, there's a monorail that goes around our stadium. And then right next to the stadium, they have the water park, and there's a big slide that over the seating on there, or I'm sorry, the stairs to the slide overlook the pitch really nicely. And so it was kind of a joke, put in your $50 deposit now for your, monorail seating or for your slide seating.
I would have bought
so we
that
could,
so
every year
fast.
we ask for it. When are we going to get our monorail seating?
Right.
I would have bought that so fast.
Exactly right, Clay.
They need to. That'd be really, especially when there's no state fair. It's still out there. They still have a monorail. They could still make it happen. They could probably even get more monorails, right? And just like load it up. Or how cool would that be, right? If you just load up monorails around all. Yeah, that would be
one by one. Yeah.
And my son would love that.
Yeah, they need to do that, and yeah, we'll see if they do all that too. But yeah, that would be nice. Ryan said they're working on standing tickets as we speak. More to come if I heard correct. So that's good. And I think if they definitely do a campaign against scalpers, they need.
A few years back, one of the years we were in the finals, they actually had standing seats on the end line. So right on the end line, they actually still have the marks on the walkway there of where each person is allowed to stand. They had a row of standing seats across the entire front of the end line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly
those are
right.
good seats, right? Well, not technically seats, right? But those are good. That's a good place to be at.
Well, it just sucks for the people that are in rows 1 and 2 on all the end line seating because they don't get a view other than people's butts. And they also have half seats next to all of the little entryways to the stairs to go down. We're on the end line. And so they call them half seats. And they actually do sell those seats for sellout crowds like this. So we made sure to purchase that so we didn't have somebody sitting squishing us in our seats.
Yeah, exactly right. It just reminds me way back in 2014. Very, very similar situation actually, because I know Bonnie Field has been officially opened earlier, almost a decade ago. They were sitting about 8,000 seats of availability. Yeah, things have getting a lot more stuff of people going on. So hopefully, I think standing only idea, that would be the perfect idea to work it out.
Yeah, and Ryan says, remember people, you're buying a soccer ticket, not buying a PS5 or Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, and he commented $1,500. $1,500
for a ticket. Yeah.
I've seen it everywhere.
I'm trying to buy. It's like we're trying to buy a seat for the game, not trying to buy a chunk of the club.
Yeah, exactly right. It's just like when you are spending as a one full price a season ticket member price, but not like this. Because I've seen several expensive prices everywhere. The Super Bowl tickets, the NBA final tickets, they are completely high.
Yeah, and that's bad enough as it is too. And for them to do that, it's like, are you serious, right? Like I mean, we'll point them out here. No problem, right? So this is like SeatGeek.
Mhm.
You'll notice different seats too, and we know how much tickets cost and all that too. And they call these amazing deals, which I have a problem with
Mhm.
SeatGeek when it's a resale ticket. You can't call this
Mhm.
amazing deal because this is not an amazing deal. But anyone who doesn't know might think it is amazing. 206, right under our press box. Normally you can get a ticket there, no problem. $30-$40 easy. $89 is what they're asking for right there, and
Oh,
SeatGeek wants to make it seem like it's an amazing
$89
deal.
it seems $89 seems okay, but I seen the second ticket. If you sit on the farther side, it costs $67, which is closely reasonable high cost though.
And these are
Let,
tickets that usually cost $15 to $20 though. All these year.
let,
Oh
let's
my
also remember.
God.
Let's also remember this is the same company that thinks it's funny with the talking butts. So take that as you may. It's the same company. That explains why the markup.
Hmm.
Yeah, $146 right here for this one.
Oh,
Dang.
Section 104. That's not even 105. That's 104.
104? Oh.
104, and they want 146.
jeez.
Yeah.
Who set this price anyway? Do you think this match has gone valuable? Yes, it is. Because I know they want to get much more money. Because I know what just happened going on in inflation. That might be the cost of it.
I think I mean it's not your everyday person that's maybe buying these two. I think it's actually like organized resellers that typically buy a bunch of tickets when they know there's like a big time event going on. And if the team didn't set any limits, which it's kind of hard to set a limit, right? You can't really say that you can't buy more than 4 or 5 tickets because you might have a big family that wants to go.
Uh-huh.
So I mean it's a challenge for them to
True.
work with that. But that's SeatGeek. You also have StubHub is also
Yeah,
doing
which is
the same thing.
pretty well known site that is.
Yeah, and it's similar. I mean, you have some of the similar tickets too. There's a 207 one. There's a couple here on the end lines. Like your cheapest ticket is a end line ticket. 104 tickets, $54. I mean, here's where I say it's got to be a company, right? There's 10 tickets available here on end line F. 10 tickets. I don't think any person would spend so
Who
much
set
on
that thing
this.
anyway?
I wish we could see who's here, but I mean people are commenting on the team's social media, trying to resell them there. So I mean, I think we know who's to blame, and they should be called out, right? People take screenshots, call them out. Let's put the person's name. I know in the Facebook group we run for Sacramento soccer fans, we had someone actually post tickets for $400, and luckily, shout out to Sharon. We got rid of that person, and we don't want anyone like that joining our group, and there should be no one joining those groups. But if you see someone, point it out, take a screenshot, send it to the team, and let's put an end to these scalpers here in Sacramento.
It's just like they say on the public transit. If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly right, Jared.
So that is sadly what's going on there. But on to a different thing here. I want to now hear from Kaylor. Who can we expect to see in Birmingham's starting 11 tomorrow?
Okay, so this one's a bit interesting. We kind of talked about on the show that we did on my channel. Our normal left back is now out with a quote unquote lower body injury. I won't go into details, but he took some studs some places you don't want to take studs and had to get surgery. So we are without a left back. And so we are likely going to see either Mikey Lopez, that's the most likely, or Ryan James as left back. So if I had to guess, this is how it's going to line up. It's going to be a 4-2-3-1 starting lineup with a Matt Van Okel MVO in goal, our Donut King, And as our right back, Johnny Dean, certifiably the fastest right back in the USL, basically a right winger. And then we have Alex Cronale and Fanwell Kavita as our center backs, Mikey Lopez as a left back. Our two is going to be Zach Harivo and Anderson Asidu. Anderson Asidu playing a kind of a central defensive mid, but he's going to be a little bit more attacking. Zach Harivo, pretty much a pure center mid. Go forward into the three. You're going to have you're probably going to have Prosper Kasim on the left, Enzo Martinez in the middle playing Cam, and on the right you're going to have Marlon Santos. The Marlon and Johnny Dean connection is pretty big. Prosper Kasim is literally left-footed only. When I literally cannot do anything with his right foot, very useless, but his left foot's made of gold. And up top you're going to have Juan Agudelo, who, I mean, reputation speaks for itself. If this is the lineup that we roll out with, it says it's a 4-2-3-1, but it's going to play more like a 3-5-2 with Mikey Lopez acting as a third center back, Zach Harivo and Anderson Asiadu playing up in the attacking midfield, and Johnny Dean playing as, like I said, a right wing. And then up top is going to be Enzo Martinez and Juan Agudelo. So even though it's going to say a 4-2-3-1, it's going to be more like a 3-5-2.
Okay, interesting. Well, they are playing away, so that that's understandable to come out with a different lineup, right, than what they had here on this one.
That one's Charleston.
Oh, it was blocking. Oh, sorry. This whole time I had it up there too. I think it was blocking it because we have the view here. Cool. Well, yeah, that might be then the lineup as we see it there, and it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm interested in seeing Juan Agudelo. I've never seen him live, but like I said, the guy was he was a prodigy in his early days, right? I mean, I remember back when Chicharito was big with the national team, and when he was starting out, both of them were like, the face of USA and Mexico. It was like that was like the future, and we know they went different paths, but I remember when they had that rivalry going on.
I think the interesting conversation that you're going to have here with this Legion team is going to be the bench and how it's used. At the end of the Charleston match, it ended up becoming essentially an academy team where we had 3 U18 guys playing. So are we going to see the youth play in our midfield with Grayson Dupont? Let's see, what's his new player, Mateo Burberry, or Matthew Corcoran, who Matthew Corcoran has been called up for the U.S. youth youth national team several times. So he's a big talent for the U.S. system. Are you going to see an Eddie Horvat? He typically comes on in the last 15, 20 minutes. Are we going to see Bruno Lapa, who Bruno Lapa is, just as of a year or two ago, was in the USL Best 11. One just the most creative midfielders you're going to see, but with the emergence of Enzo Martinez is a USL Hall of Fame guy. He's an all-timer. Mm-hmm. Bruno Lapa has been kind of moved to the bench. Are we going to? Those are kind of the questions that we're going to see. Are they going to push the youth that we've signed recently, or are they going to go with the out-and-out best 11? I think that's going to be an interesting battle. You're going to see Tommy Sohn having to fight over there on the bench.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to have to keep our eyes on Enzo Martinez, since he just recently hit the 50 career goal mark recently. So I'm sure he's raring to add 51 to that.
The connection him and Marlon Santos have is ridiculous. Marlon, for people who don't know, he basically plays outdoor football like it's futsal. He is everything you think of when it comes to Brazilian flair. He is that. When he's rolling, it's just sexy to watch. But also, whenever it's not, it's just like, please, just pass the ball. Please, Marlon, pass the ball.
Oh, yeah, we had our fair share of those last season with they wouldn't pass it, so we know the feel. Awesome. Well, thanks for letting us know who to expect tomorrow, especially all those of us who are going to be there at the game. We know how better idea of who we're dealing with. Um, awesome. Well, let's take a look at the USL standings. How are things looking like for both teams? And as we mentioned on Kaler's pod, both teams are pretty even up in the East and the West. It's like you couldn't find a better East and West matchup because our stats are so similar between Detroit being in fifth place in the East with 19 games played and 9-1, 6 tied, 4 lost. And if we look at ours, we have 2 less games than they do, but we have 8 games won, 5 games tied, and 4 lost. So it's looking pretty interesting. And by the way, Colorado can't speak right now. Colorado is actually beating Los Dos 2-0 right now.
Ajit Berry's a freak.
Oh yeah,
Unbelievable.
we know about
Yeah.
it.
We were on the receiving end of that not long ago. So
Yeah, so that is going on there too, which isn't a bad result for us if they do end up being Los Dos because they're right there, just a point away from us, and at this point they're gonna have 4 more games than we do. So not too bad. And I think that's they probably shouldn't be in that position because they did beat San Diego Loyal 5-0. And I know, Jared, you brought it up in our USL Unsolved Mystery, but I actually went back to look at that game, look at the goals, but more importantly, look at that red card that San Diego received. And it was amazing how they called that a red card. I could see why the whole rumor went around on that referee and why he may have decided to call on that, because he claimed it was a handball. It hits the guy in the chest. It never hits no hand at all. And I don't know how he could want to say that it was a handball, because had it been a handball, that ball is not going the direction it went if that was a handball. But yeah, we would have been furious, Jared. That's all I got to say if that happened to us.
if they need a handball expert, we know a guy in Indy nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. That one was clear as day, and it wasn't called on. So
Indy just lost 1-0 to New York Red Bulls, too.
Oh,
They're
that's
bad
for them. Yeah, losing against New York is I think it's probably the most embarrassing thing I think in the league, right? Because I mean, for those of you who don't know, they're last place right now in the East. Yeah, 2 games. Well, now they won. Now they have 2 games won with that one, but 10 goals to their favor out of 19 games and 39 goals against. That's rough.
And see, that's a team we've never lost to. We're technically 2-0 because this is their final season in the USL Championship, so we'll never have lost to them.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Hopefully we could say the same thing about Los Dos, right? Because we still play against them one more time towards the end of the season, but it's good. I always have to say it, but everyone knows how much I do not like MLS 2 teams, and I'm so glad they're going to be gone, or all of them are going to be gone next season. See you later. Get out of here. East is going to have Louisiana now too. Great. We're giving a place.
Oh, I can't wait for them. I cannot wait for New Orleans.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So
they're
we're
officially about to become our closest away day, which let's go.
That's good. They need to form more rivalries, right? Get soccer in places that don't have a team, but ideally make it in a place that's close by to another team, so you could start doing more of that, right? And we know how happy we got when Oakland was introduced, especially when Reno left, and also when Monterey was introduced, because that's another drive for us that is reasonable. So good stuff on their side. All right, now on to this is going to be kind of interesting because it's probably going to be the first time that we're going to get a prediction that might not go our way here, but let's do predictions for tomorrow's game. So let's go in screen order to make it easier. I'll go last. So Jared, I could repeat yours, or if you were planning on changing it, then we could change it right now too. I mean, it's still before the game, and I could change it.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember what I had guessed originally because I know I'm probably going to have to edit that.
So you said 3-1 originally, and so yeah.
2-1. 2-1.
2-1. All right. Let me imagine if it is 3-1, right? And it's like, all right, no changing back, but it's whatever you said last.
Hearing a lot of the stats that Kaylor had brought up to mind, nah, it's not going to be 3-1. No.
All right. Well, Will, what do you say? And who do you got scoring first, Will?
Oh, la 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 la. This is getting a little bit interesting game because I know last game it was Oakland, but right now Birmingham, it is a little closely similar to it. So I'm guessing it is a kind of bit another tie score, maybe probably around 1-1 or possibly 2-2, I believe. But I'm sure the first goal that will be happen, possibly row.
Oh, okay. So do you think wrong one or 2-2? Which one would you go with?
I'll probably go with a 1-1 actually.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Kaylor.
This one's hard. This is one of those matches that I think that is going to be very even. I said it on my show that this is going to be one of those matches that whoever obviously scores first is going to dictate a lot of this match. If Sacramento scores first, it could end up being blood in the water. If Legion score first, it could end up being panic time. So I think my heart of heart is telling me that it's going to be a 1-1 draw, but I think whoever gives up the second goal loses the game because this Legion defense does not give in goals. One of the best defenses in the USL. And so they're going to be a team that if you get that second goal, I don't think that Legion's offense is good enough to get the second. But same thing for Sacramento. I really like what Sacramento does defensively. That if Legion somehow gets the second goal, I don't think Sacramento will be able to bag the second goal themselves. I'm going 1-1, but if the second goal is scored, they're a winner. But that's my official prediction is 1-1.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's good. Yeah, it's never easy to not give a winning result to our teams, and I know it very well because and Jared and Sharon know it as well because we've been predicting losses and ties at times, especially in the Open Cup these last two times.
Yeah.
Or except I think maybe you, Jared, actually had faith that we were going to beat LA, right? But some of us were like,
Oh yeah.
we're going to lose that in San Jose, and luckily we were wrong. We want to be wrong whenever we go that way. What about you, Chris?
So we're thinking two opinions. If Connor Donovan is playing, we're thinking 2-1 Republic. But if he's not going to be playing, we're thinking 1-1.
Oh.
Because since Connor's been out, we've gotten scored on every time.
Oh yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
So if he's back in, we have a better chance because we have a strong defensive line.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow if he's back. I'm not gonna change mine, Jared. As I said on the podcast, I think I'm sticking with this one. Sorry, Kaylor. I think it's this one might sound like it's a little overwhelming, but I say a 3-1. And I think Kaylor makes a good point. Whoever scores that second goal, it might just keep going from there. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to keep going a lot more, but I think it's going to be 3-1 with Luis Felipe getting us the first one since he's also been scoring a lot lately. So that's what I got there. Ryan said, "Don't hate me, but it's going to be a 1-1 tie." Both teams will want to win this game as both need to win this game. However, they will struggle getting through each other's defense. I mean, they are pretty even in all.
Definitely true, Ryan.
So it could very well be that way too.
I think that's pretty much the consensus. That's pretty much the consensus that's going to end up being a draw. And when you compare the two teams and their similarities, I mean, it's going to be a slugfest. I mean, it is not going to be a blowout by any means. I mean, it's just going to be who wants it more ultimately.
Yeah, I think that's how it'll be. And both teams are used to playing in the weather, so I don't think the weather's going to be a factor. It's not. I don't see it. Ryan said Jacksonville should get a USL soccer team. At least they have a chance at winning in something. I agree. I've been over there a couple of times.
Definitely
and
true.
They need to, or they could just. I know they had Jacksonville Armada, right, and NASL. So maybe bring them back to USL because they already had a team. And, you know what I mean?
Ryan, I swear, if they get a USL team and I balloon up to 300 pounds with me going over there with all those pub subs and Wawa, I'm blaming you, sir.
If it does happen, yeah. Between Jacksonville, including Tampa Bay rowdies, it's going to be rowdiness every time.
And plus, Florida needs another team, right? You got Miami, Tampa Bay, but they need something up north, right? Because they don't have anything in USL there. So, and I think it's not that far from you, Kaylor, too, right? You might be able to do a road trip there, right? Or
Jacksonville's like 12 hours away from me. So,
okay, maybe
that's more of a flight.
A flight that would be good idea.
Yeah, considering they have an airport there, yeah.
Then again, if that happens, I wonder if I can get my employer to maybe fly over there, for training or something like that.
Hey, you can make up training if that happens. You could just be, hey, we need to do training. Let's make it happen too. Cool. Well, one last plug here before we say goodnight. Check out Kaylor's podcast. We were interviewed there earlier this week, and we had a blast. And if you guys want to check it out, it's actually on a lot of the podcast platforms, right, Kaylor? You have it on like most of the popular ones?
It should be on all of them at this point. If there's one of them that you have that I'm not on, please message me so I can put it on there because it should be on all major platforms.
Cool. And if you listen to a recent episode that we did, we talked to him there, so that will be on there. Just search for Hammering Down Podcast.
And then also another quick plug for anyone listening in the Birmingham area tomorrow. Get your pregame on. Visit Four Horsemen Barbecue tomorrow. They're going to be at Shoals Nutrition on Wilson Dam Road from 12 to 5 p.m. So this way you get your food set up, have a food coma, set the alarm, and be ready for the match.
Oh yeah. True, especially it's going to be a late one for everyone over there, so
Yeah.
get that ready. Also, one more thing too, we also have a new website for those of you who don't know, and an exciting feature that we actually have that really looking forward to anyone who wants to send us their opinions to send them through is a voicemail function, so you can actually record something, whether it's on your phone or if you're on the computer as well. You just have to allow microphone access to your browser. But once you click or tap on it, if you're on your phone, you get this pop-up here that just tells you what it is, and you hit start recording, and you'll get a notification there to get permission to use your microphone. And then once you stop your recording, you can actually review it, and if you don't like it, you can re-record, or if you do like it, you can just put your name, and if you want to put your email, you can put it there as well. And then it'll be sent to us, and we'll be playing them on the podcast each week. So if anyone wants to tell us anything, talk about a past game, future game, maybe ask us a question, just give us a shout out, or say happy birthday to someone, whatever you want to do, leave it on there, and we might be playing it on the next show. So feel free to use that as much as you'd like, and I think you only have a limit of 90 seconds though, but there is that. And as I mentioned last week, I do want to give a shout out to Meeks RV for sponsoring our website, giving us a whole year's worth of hosting. Shout out to them and to Ryan for helping us out with that. So you guys can now check out the website, listen to the podcast episodes there as well. So if you don't want to download an app, or you just have very few storage in your phone and you just want to get rid of an app that you only use to listen to us, then you can actually just open your browser and use our player here and listen there. Or if you do want to listen to us on an app, you click on these buttons here. You actually get our podcast page on each of these platforms, and it opens right away if you're on your phone. So check that out and let us know what you think. And you can also, I think, leave comments as well. If you have a Facebook, we have a plugin on every episode. So if you don't want to record yourself sending a voicemail, you can actually also type, and we'll read any comments that you put here if you put them in the most recent episode, because I don't think we might get alerted if it's on older ones. But still feel free to put your comments on any show that we do, and if we catch him on an older episode, then we'll read him. But if it's on the newest one, then we'll definitely read him if we're able to, if they're appropriate, of course, right? I mean, if the referee was terrible and we're seeing cursing words all out, we might agree with you, but we're not going to actually say it on the show. So
yeah, SOTR After Dark is for the memes, not the comments.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there is that. Awesome. Well, if any of you have any other thing to say, feel free to say it now, or we'll just end it too. But I just want to make sure that if anyone else has anything to add, please make sure to say it right now.
Well, first of all, I want again to thank Kaylor for coming on to the town hall. I mean, we definitely love having you here. It was great being on your podcast on Wednesday. Hopefully next year, when USL drops the schedule, maybe there might be a couple more matches. So we'll see.
Appreciate having me as always. This was an absolute blast.
Yeah. Thank you, and Kaylor. And hey, if you want to join us on a future one, even if we're not playing against you guys, feel free to. I know you follow Sacramento as well, so I'll always invited to these if you want to join us in the future.
Good to know.
Ryan said, "What are Jared's conspiracy theory?" Been waiting for it.
Those ones weren't mine. Those were from someone that was a San Diego fan. If we're talking about the last ones,
not me though. Not me though.
I thought he was referring to just in general the USL Unsolved Mysteries, right? He was calling them conspiracy theories.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, those. And on the live shows, we don't always, do that. Usually, that's kept for the end of the podcast shows. So that's usually what that's reserved for. But awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to all of our guests here, Chris, William, Kaylor, Jared. Thank you all for hopping on. Also to Sharon and to Tina, even though they're not on here, but if they're watching us right now in the comments, thank you. Thank you to all of Chris's family also for tuning in there in the background. We appreciate it. And thank you so much to all of our viewers and listeners for tuning into the show and listening to the podcast as always. We appreciate your support, and you help us continue to grow this awesome podcast that we enjoy working on each and every week. All right, everyone. Well, we'll see you at the game tomorrow if you are going to the game. As always, podcast stickers, always there. We're always just carrying them around. Or if you're in the state fair, just send us a message, because one of us will likely be around the state fair, so we can meet you at the state fair as well and give you a sticker. So just let us know, and we'll give free stickers out to you guys. All right, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Bye.
All right.
And a special thank you to the Birmingham fans staying up late for this. Appreciate you. Get some good rest for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a late one. So awesome. Bye, everyone.
Cue the music.